Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 17, and welcome back to Dolnośląska Wieś. Here's the thing about that name. If I sneak up on it, right? If I surprise it, I do fine. If I think about it even a little bit, everything just goes to pieces. So, we did some work off camera. And when I say we, I mean me. I did some work off camera. Oh. You know, I don't always know what the culprit is. And it's when you get into mods, you really don't know what the culprit is. It could be one particular mod. It could be a combination of mods. It could be something about the map. It could be a lot of things. But the three big fields across the street, I want to say 32. In fact, we can look right here. 31, 33, and 34. Yes, hello, Rooster. 31, 33, and 34. How do we get out of here? Oh, yeah, this way. There we go. We were planting wheat. We wanted to have a worker do it. Well, that was not to be. Turns out helpers don't work well on this map. The AI helpers don't work well on this map. Courseplay doesn't work well on this map. And it could be a lot of things. It could be the map itself. I know the fields are kind of... Well, they're very irregularly shaped. And this is one of those things when you have to kind of ask yourself, like, do I even want to be happy? Do I want things to make me happy? Because we're always crying about, oh, big square fields, that sucks. If only fields could be, like, interesting and have, you know... Well, here's a map with very interesting fields. And, of course, it complicates everything. So it's like, are we ever happy? It's always something. It really is. But I did get it all done. I had to do the majority of it manually. I've never seen this in a map before, but the helper, just the regular base game helper, will not stay on a straight course. So normally the helper, I think in FS15 they could go straight up and down or straight left and right. So 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, or 270 degrees. I think in FS17, they added in the other 4 cardinal points. So what is that? 45, 135, you know what I'm saying. But it needs to be sort of on a basic angle, right? And everything's fine. Not so on this map. And I don't know where that's coming from. And like I said to start the episode, you never really know what the culprit is. You don't, because it could be a single mod. It could be a mod that normally works being interfered with by another mod that normally works. It could be the map, or it could be a specific mod on this specific map. You never know. You never really know. So a lot of problems to solve on this map. But I have to say, I kind of like that. I really do like solving problems. It is one of the joys of my life. It really is. So we got a grima. You say grima. You say grimmy. You say grimy. You say grima. Well, however you say it. We got us a potato planter, and we are going to plant this big field right here with potatoes. Now, I brought the doits down, and trying to play realistically, what would I do in real life? I would have that MB track do most of the work on the farm because it's old. And it's already depreciated, and it's probably not too expensive to get parts for. Although, to be fair, they're old enough now that it may be starting to get difficult to get parts for an MB track. But I would want to keep the hours off this big new Deutz, because this is going to be expensive to get maintained, right? However, this is the only vehicle that I see on our farm right now that has a GPS aerial. And looking at this field, and as narrow as this seeder is, it's not a drill for potatoes, right? It's a seeder. It's a planter. That's it. It's a planter. As narrow as this planter is, I think, yeah, we probably want to go GPS. And this is literally the only tractor we have with GPS. Now, we could break the immersion a little bit. We could step out of character and say, well, shoot, man. Garmin makes a ton of dashboard-mounted GPS, maybe the aerial someplace you can't see it. Nah, we're not going to play that way. We're going to try to be realistic. So let's get this thing going, and then we got a couple other tasks that we want to get on. This is field 21. Okay, I'm gonna give it a go. So we say fertilizing and seeding. We say field 21. We don't own that many fields. Auto width, that's good. We say start from here. We say, this is pretty long, and the field borders are funny on this map. I'm gonna say 5 headlands. I know, oh, I can't do 5, that's ridiculous. Let's say 4. And we're gonna do like so. Bypass islands, no island and no aerials, no masts in this field. So let's take a look. Did I get that backwards? I got that exactly backwards. Moment, please. There we go, like that. Then we go like that. And we go like so. All right. Let's give it a go. I need to find my start point. There it is. Great sound on this tractor. I do like it. I do. Sounds very, compared to how rough and sort of sputtery and diesel-y something like the MB track is, or the Ford TW on our Coldborough Park map. This sounds very high-tech. I love it. So we're going to go here. We're going to start at the first waypoint. We're going to start that. Bridge markers are deactivated. Okay. So now I believe we can fertilizer function of sowing machine deactivated, and I believe by doing that, maybe, right? Because this field's already been triple fertilized, I did not put fertilizer in our, what are we calling it? In our planter. Okay, let's see if this gets it. It certainly does. Fantastic. So we'll turn these off, get rid of those for the realism. Speed limits, 24 kilometers per hour. That's pretty fast. Let's slow that down a little bit. Let's slow that down. Let's hop out and see how we do. And as soon as this gangster gets going, then we're going to hop on a couple other tasks. So far, so good. You know, I don't like potatoes. I really don't like, I don't like anything about them. Except for this. That texture. And you can't really, that other one. There you go. You can't really get down low enough to see if it's 3D. It looks, I mean, it's a pretty good trickery. But I don't know if it's really 3D. I don't know. I feel like it's not. All right, what's going on over here? Are we doing all right? Let's hope we do all right. Confidence is high. All right. Lovely backing. I can't back that thing up that well. And there we go. Okay, cool. So something is going right on Dolnośląska Wieś. Right. Next step, next evolution. Field 23 is this little one over here. We had all the problems with it. End of the last episode, getting it plowed. We have, in fact, got it all plowed. Had to do it manually. Not a big deal. You know, that offset plow, like the typical, I don't know, it's just a plow. It's the thing that I visualize when I think of an agricultural plow. It goes off to one side of the tractor, right? I don't know how a farmer sorts these problems out in an irregular field with a plow like that. Now, we're what? Over 100 years into industrial or mechanical agriculture? So surely there's a technique, and I'm guessing it varies from region to region. You know, an American farmer may sort that problem out differently than a Polish farmer or a British farmer or whatever. But surely there's a way to sort that out. Pardon me, I got a cough. I've been having so many problems with my voice, and I have no idea why. Right, so we're going to spread some fert on this field. And then we're going to drive our Unimog down. We're going to pick up the MB track from the main yard. And we're going to come down here and cultivate this field while our Deutz... Oh, these rocks. I don't... You know, I trust map makers. Because this is too big an undertaking to just... You know what I mean? This is not like, hey, I think I'm going to make a farm simulator map this weekend. And I'm going to do some silly stuff in it just as a goof. You know, it's way too comprehensive an activity. It takes too much time and skill and creativity. So I really don't think, I mean, a map like this, I've seen some bad maps. I'm sure you have too. Somebody just having a good time. This, to me, the amount of work that goes into a map like this is not somebody having a good time. This is a labor of love. And I really do love and appreciate map makers and mod makers. They make these games so awesome. Having said that, what the hell is this? Why would you do this? This rock, and no matter how many times I move it, every time I restart the game, it puts it back in. And there's several other ones. Now, right now, it's not a problem because there's nothing in the fields. But when we have wheat growing up around that, potatoes, I don't think will be a problem. But when we have wheat growing up around that rock across the highway, right, we're going to hit it with our harvester. Are you trying to be funny? Are you having a laugh, as they say? I don't think it's cute. I'd say I don't care for it one bit, but so it goes. I mean, I could go into Giants Editor and take them out, but I don't really want to do that. I really don't want to do that. So let's get down to the main yard. And because we're going to be driving on the highway, I'll go first person in the Unimog. So yeah, man, I got that wheat planted on the other side of the highway, and that was, traffic. And like I said, you know, when the game comes out, 15, 17, 19, it doesn't matter. There goes my voice. It doesn't matter. We tend to say, well, this is just a kind of a way to learn the new game and see what time it is. But I couldn't play a map with these big square fields. Give me some interesting fields, man. And I feel like whoever made this map really, like, they got that memo, because these fields are interesting. Man, if you like making 3-point turns, you'll love this map. Save game. You will love this map, because it is those 3 fields, like, just trying to figure them out. And then even the placement of the telegraph masts, same thing. Like, there's not, when I see a map like this, I think this is not like somebody just, oh, hey, you know, there's a ton of time and effort put into this. And I think right down to the placement of those telegraph masts and how they just all seem to be in the wrong place. They really do. In a way that I like it. I really do, because I feel like the map maker is like, oh yeah? You like problems? You like apples? There you go. Sort that out. And I did, and oh man, I did sort it out. But I didn't want to stop once I got started. I didn't want to stop. I was like, let me just knock this out, and then I'll take a break, have a bite to eat, and then I'll come back and record. And the thing about it is, it's like, this has to be the most satisfying game. Oh God, that sound. Love it. Love it. This has to be the most satisfying game. That, is it the AMSR? Yeah, AMSR. It just feels so good to finish a field, particularly when it's a field that's kind of, you know what I'm saying? And man, I have issues with finishing things. I really like to finish things. I get a big release of dopamine when I finish something. And the more tedious and complex and sort of annoying it is, the better it feels when it's done. So I'm like I'm like a heroin addicted lab rat, just banging on that lever with my little paw. Like, Give me my fix. Give me my fix. And I feel like something like that, finishing those 3 big irregular fields when I was done. Oh, it is just the nicest feeling. It really is. So it's a fun map. It's gorgeous, for one thing, in its own sort of, you know, I know people sort of don't care for Polish maps. For me, I mean, this looks a little different for me. I don't want to say anything bad about it because I don't want to say anything bad about Poland. You know, we're always trying to be very respectful on the channel. You know that. But it's got a bit of a Chernobyl look to it, you know? A lot of concrete. So, and I'm going third person because we've got this cultivator on here and it's just wide enough to be tricky. And I do think there's a back way into field 21, and I think that might be it right there on the right, but I don't know for sure. So we'll just go down. Oh, now here's a question. Will this thing fit through the gate into the small farm? Ah, so close. Will this thing fit? I suspect it will because I think I took it out. I took it out? You took it out? No, man. I drove it out of the yard. Okay. So now we're going to make a big turn in here. Beautiful. And it fits right through there. How are we doing on time? 17 minutes already. Wow, time flies. Okay. This will work out perfectly, though. We'll do a little bit of cultivating. I'm going to go check on our Deutz. Set the brake. Run over here. Hey, you want to know something funny? I'll tell you something funny. That there division has got to be, man, I haven't been this into a game in quite a while. I am loving the division. But in the division, to run, you click down on the left stick. Not move it down, like you press it in, you click it. And in Farm Simulator, to run, you squeeze the right trigger. Well, in the division, when you squeeze the right trigger, you shoot. So every time I try to run when I'm in like a panic situation, I just default to Farm Sim because I've spent so much time in it. So it'll be like if I'm doing cooperative and I'm the new guy, right? My rank is kind of low and my weapons are kind of generic, and you can tell that I'm the new guy. I just started playing it because I got it on sale around Christmas like a lot of people did. So there'll be a bunch of us cooperative, and it's like, okay, pause, everybody, you know, restock your ammo. Okay, all right, we got to go. And they take off running, and then I just randomly fire a shot into the ceiling. So, yeah, loving the division, but I am a bit of a moron, I must say. However, it's like that with a lot of things for me, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. You got to be who you are in this life, and I certainly have a good time being very exuberant and not always knowing what the hell I'm doing. But I do enjoy myself. Right. So going back to how farmers solve problems, now what the hell do we do? We can't really do lengths because this field is too small, but we can't really do roundy, right? Because it's got an island in the middle. Man, I don't know. Let's do this. Let's cut in the island. And then we'll just start whacking at it. And we'll do that for the rest of the episode. Right, so first things first. We unfold this thing. Not very dramatic unfolding. It does not remarkably increase in size when you unfold it. You'll see it again. Transformers. They're really not more than meets the eye. Okay, so there's that. And there's also this thing, these lights on the back here. That's a separate doodad. You can just drop it right off there. All right, well, I kind of want them back now. However, you can also, raise them up. So I guess that's what you do, get them up out of the way, right? Get them up out of the dirt. I don't know. Or do you travel with it that way because it makes it more visible? I don't know. I don't know. Right. When I say cut the island in, I guess the reason I'm not 100% confident on that. Whoa. Okay, we already ran out of seeds. Let's do this. Let's, in the interest of expediency. There you go. Right back to work. Let's make sure they're working. I'm looking at them through the trees, if you're wondering. I think they're unfolding right now. And there they go. Okay, cool. So, you know what bothers me in videos when sim farmers they paint fields, right? Like they're just icing a cake or something. They just go roundy. They drive over areas that they've seeded already. Oh, it bugs me. However, there's another side to that, which is that you really don't want to be driving over a field that you've worked on at all because of compaction. So even though we're not seeding, I want to be mindful that we don't just service this field like we're icing a cake, right? We you know what I mean? Where we just kind of do whatever we want. So I think what I might do is this. I think what I might do is cut this island in roundy. And I think on both sides, that'll take us all the way out to the grass verge. And I think at that point, then we'll basically have two fields. See what I mean? Yeah, you do. We'll basically have two fields, and then we can take care of each of them separately as like an independent field. So we're not worried about trying to link the two. I think that could work. Although on this side, it's a little... the gap is a little more profound. No worries. Oh, the sound. I don't know if you're listening in headphones. I'm on a nice surround sound headset, and this tractor just sounds like, oh, it's fantastic. I'm loving the sound. Okay, let's come on. Okay, let's go right up here. Right up here. Come on. There you go. Let's go right up there. And, okay, let's try this. So if we go back around this way, this will sort of close that gap, and this will take us over into the, I guess, the other half of the field. If you want to call it that. Yeah, I think this could work. This could work. Sorry, I'm not talking a lot because I'm really trying to concentrate right now. Honestly, I can't even visualize in my head like what I want to do. You know, sometimes you know what you want to do, you just don't know exactly how to do it. I don't even know what I want to do. I really don't. I'm just kind of waiting for a solution to sort of present itself. Right? So if we go there, now we can't go back into the other field again because that gap is closed now. So let's do this. Can we do this? Maybe. Okay. Yeah, let's make a little progress on lengths. And then if it's looking good, if it's looking like we've solved the puzzle, then we'll just call it an episode. Because we're at about 25 minutes right now, so this is perfect. Perfect. Oh, okay. Maybe not perfect. In hindsight, maybe there was a longer axis we could have, you know, if we were going back and forth 90 degrees to what we're doing right now, I think maybe we could have got slightly longer lengths. And that's always more efficient. Ah, but here's another problem now. Ugh, they got me. They got me. Now how do we make our turns without driving on, you know what I mean? Tricky. Tricky, very tricky, this farming. Okay, I think this is going to be, it's not perfect, but I think this is going to be a pretty good solution. Now, I have a question if there are any real farmers in the house. I thought that backing up, right? If we were to back up down this next length and then pull out to the front, then we would never drive across an area of the field that we had already cultivated. You see what I mean? In fact, I'll just do it because it's only a game. But if we drive in, when we get to the end of the length, at least our front tires, probably our rear tires as well, are going to travel over soil that we've already cultivated. Right? So a possible fix for that would be if we were to back in and then drive straight back out, then our wheels would never travel over a part of the field that we had already cultivated. However, we would drive back and forth across the same area twice. And I'm really trying to think about compaction, right? So I'll do it the other way that I just described as well, if it's not clear. So essentially we would just do this. But what that means is we're driving over the same place twice. And now I've also heard about compaction that the majority of it occurs on the first pass. Like 70% of the compaction happens on the first pass. So if you do have to drive across a part of the field that you've worked on already, for the rest of the time that you're working, you would want to be in those tracks because it's like the damage is already done. It's not the end of the world. It happens. You do have to drive on fields to work on them, but the damage is done. So at that point, you actually minimize damage to other parts of the field by making the damage that you've already caused slightly worse. I think that made sense. Made sense in my head. So if we did back in, I lowered the tool a little bit early there. If we did back in, we would have, we're having compaction right now. We're driving across a plowed field. But you get what I'm saying. So it's right here that I'm worried about, because we've just compressed an area of the field that we've already cultivated. And I don't know how bad that is. I don't know if that's not that big a deal. I don't know if it's just an unavoidable part of doing agricultural work. I don't know. I'm curious. But I think what I'll do, because we're just about to cross 30 minutes, I think what I'm going to do is drive to the end of this row. Drive to the end of this row. And I'm going to, whoa, how'd that happen? Why are we folding and unfolding? Stop it. Right, I'm going to drive to the end of this row, and then I'm just going to pull this thing up on the little farm track there, and we're going to run over and see how our Deutz is doing. Seems to be doing all right. Certainly better than the K700 did. K700, oh man, it's a hateful beast. I don't like it, but I'm keeping it. I'm just keeping it. Right. Put her in neutral. Set the brake. Let's go check the Deutz and we'll call it an episode. All right. So yeah, man, I really do love this map. This is Dolnośląska Wieś, and it's on the Giants mod hub, and I definitely recommend it. If you're giving FS19 a little time to kind of get itself together, I would definitely recommend this. It is a fun map. It's really pretty. It plays fast. Good FPS. Wow. This thing really made short work of this field. Now, Right. Yep, that 6-meter potato planter really made... Oh, are we into headlands already? Yeah, I guess we are, because we told it to do, what, 35 headlands? So, sure enough. There you go. Let me scoot up here. We'll make us a thumbnail. And we'll call it an episode. If I can catch him. Come on. Come on. Very stately. Very stately on. The sun's going to be on the right side and everything. Perfect. Folks, there you go. Thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 17 from Dolnośląska Wieś, Poland. And we'll see you next time. Take care now.